Hello everybody. Here's a Stellaris build I've wanted to show everybody. This is how I like to rush virtual in order to have the most broken economy in Stellaris that we have ever seen. So, what is the build? Let's take a look at what we're playing. We're playing Death Cult and Parliamentary System. These are both unity-giving civics, with Fanatic Spiritualist for more monthly unity, and Xenophile. Additionally, we're playing on Void Dwellers. The reason why Void Dwellers is the best build for virtual rushing is actually habitats have the most districts possible per mineral, basically, and also per build time, meaning that we can have the most jobs possible at year 30 on just 3 habitats. It's even more than Shattered Ring, and it's even more than starting on larger planets. With that in mind, let's show you how to play the build. So, one important thing is you must pick the Soul Start Void Dweller system. What that allows us to do is it gives us 2 guaranteed systems, Cirrus and Alpha Centauri. They happen to both spawn next to my capital in this game, but if they don't, there's actually a very easy way to find them. Cirrus is always a binary star, and Alpha Centauri is always a trinary star. This makes them very easy to spot as long as they're within 2 hyperlane jumps, and if they're not, well, you can still go ahead and find them by eliminating all the possible places they could be. That's just a quick little tip. We're also going to start by buying 40 minerals. Of course, we don't have enough energy credits to support this, but this is a good way to buy as many minerals as possible. Also, we're going to change to Isolationist and Militarized Economy right away, as we're going to be working as few researcher jobs as possible, which is basically 0, as we're going to immediately replace this with an Industrial District, as in order to produce as much unity as possible, of course, we're going to ignore tech. Which is something that, I would not usually recommend, but when you're playing a build as broken as virtual, we can catch up in tech very, very quickly after virtual ascension. In multiplayer games, I've typically hit virtual ascension around year 30 with 1.0 times Unity multiplier, or playing on 0.75, but in single player, Unity is a little bit harder to come by because a lot of the AI empires have lower diplomatic acceptance, which means it's hard to get things like commercial packs, and of course, there's less AI empires producing high values of trade, where a lot of players who play trade builds actually produce incredibly high amounts of trade, because, well, players are much better than AIs at mini-maxing builds. Anyhow, one important step is we do need to maximize our edicts, as I've completely forgotten to do so, and we want to turn Veneration of Saints on and Sacrifice Togetherness. This is a way of boosting our unity. We should see this immediately jump into the 60s or even 70s, and we're going to want to unwork the Mortal Initiate jobs in the meantime, as they produce very, very little unity. And as you can see, we're immediately making 70 unity, which is really nice. Also, we're going to hire any additional leaders, basically in order to explore into the galaxy as fast as possible. Another thing we're going to do is we're going to save some time right now, and we're going to start building minor orbitals immediately. So let's go ahead and queue up a few minor orbitals. We will need to build a few minor orbitals before our first habitat. And the date we're trying to get our first habitat by is not too late. Now, the first thing I'm going to go here is Mercantile. Mercantile is very important for this build, as we're going to be working a lot of trader jobs, and we're going to be working a lot of clerks after virtual ascension, because clerks are actually broken with virtual ascension. So we'll kind of see the reason for rushing that very soon. Also, on our capital, as soon as the industrial district is done, we're basically going to alternate between habitation districts and commercial zones, and just build commercial zones whenever possible. And by year 15, we're going to aim to have 3 mortal initiates, but for the first 2 years, we're going to only have 2, as our unity production is much, much lower, so that's less important. Also, as soon as we can, we're going to take Marketplace of Ideas. This will turn our trade value into additional unity. And right now, I'm not going to change my designation from Empire Capital yet to Trade Capital, but once we're producing a little more trade value, something like 50 or 60, we'll turn this over to Trade Capital. Also, it's great that our Alpha Centauri has a planet in it, not because we want to colonize this planet, but because it'll be great to designate as a consecrated world, which will be one of the civics we take. Another important thing to do is make sure to kind of explore out into the galaxy as fast as you can. It's really important to make first contacts. We're going to need at least 6 to declare rivals on, and without rivals, this build is not going to work. This build absolutely relies on rivalries in order to generate the amount of unity we need to virtually ascend as soon as possible. Another thing to note is we're producing about 30 alloys here. This is quite good. We don't need to build an additional, what's it called? Industrial district, just this one is fine, and this will allow us to build 3 habitats before year 30, which is exactly what we're looking for. Also, I'm just taking, like, scouting the galaxy is generally good. Here's one tip for when you're not playing virtual, is you can use your ship here, you click on it, and then you right click on a system with planets. And as you can see, this system has pre-FTLs in it. And how do I know this? Is because I have the option to build observation posts. So this is another reason why scouting is incredibly important. As let's say I was playing a bio build, this would be a very, very fast way to find pre-FTLs that we can, of course, exploit and conquer. Of course, we're playing as a xenophile, so they're completely pointless, and we also don't need them. We can get a migration treaty later to start growing some organic pops as soon as possible, and that would allow us to cease pop assembly as well, which is also a really nice thing. We have hit our first thing here. What we're going to do is we're actually going to assign all the leaders to immediately start investigating these, even if some of these are not like empires, but like like little enclaves or something like that. We still want to investigate them just to maximize our influence, as influence can be sometimes an early game limiting factor. Also, as soon as this is done, I'm going to send this over to Cirrus and build Horror of the Void. Okay, let's move that away. Oh, and we were too late, and we lost our Minister of Defense already, which really, really sucks, because now we are down to 2 exploration ships, which is making our exploration speed quite a bit lower. I think I'll actually build an additional corvette. This will delay our habitat by 100 alloys, but what is that, 3 months and 10 days of alloys? That's fine. It's more important to have 6 different things to scout with, or 6 different empires to rival for unity with the antagonistic government stance later on. Yeah, basically we're going to take enmity as our second tradition tree, and in case you guys don't know, enmity is a great way to generate unity. You get 10 unity per rival base, I believe, and through all the multipliers we're going to get, each rival will probably be making over 25 unity. So we're going to be getting anywhere from 1 to 200 unity from rivals, which is going to be van-freaking-tastic. Also, we're going to immediately start to build Cirrus. Always build Cirrus as your first colony. The reason for this is essentially we want our second one to be Alpha Centauri, which is always going to be the research planet. And the reason it's the research planet is there's 4 or 5 different bodies with research deposits on it, which makes it a great place to build research habitats. Yeah, if you've never played Void Dwellers, it can be a little bit confusing, but just follow exactly what I'm doing, and you'll understand the reason why probably pretty soon. Construction complete. Also, let's continue to move out into the galaxy to explore. As soon as this is done, we want to build this as a mining station. Keep in mind that if you noticed, I've not been building on any of the deposits, and basically the reason is, as soon as you build an orbital on any deposit, it disappears, right? So we want to avoid any of the deposits, and I forgot to delete this. Let's quickly demolish this 0G district. It's a bit annoying that I have 3 unemployed pops instead of them working a job. That's a bit of a skill issue there, but I mean, that's just something to keep in mind when you're playing, is just be a little bit careful with your jobs. Otherwise, it'd be in this situation. It's not too bad, as we're gonna quickly. Oh, this is very, very lucky though. We rolled trade focused as our first roll, and our architectural interest. This is probably the best combination you can have, as architectural interest will be best after we virtually ascend for extra build speed, and before we ascend, the extra trade value will be very, very nice. And take a look at this. We're already done our first tradition tree year 3, and we can go ahead and take 1 vision with that, boosting our unity a little bit further. Yeah, this is very unfortunate. We have 4 unemployed pops. It is not worth going. Utopian Abundance, we also can't, right? We don't have the right civics for that. But yeah, anyhow, that is a-okay. We can continue to build up. And we can change this over to a trade capital now too, because um, yeah, we're producing a significant enough amount of trade, so this will probably increase our unity, if I were to guess. Yeah, by 1. Oh my god, and we get this Roni as well. This Roni basically means, as a precursor, like the Cybrex is a little bit better because you can get the Ring World later. But Zroni is just extremely good for early game, and early game is the weakest phase for virtual, so this is very helpful as well. Yeah, and once again here we're just going to focus on continuously building up more commercial zones. Hopefully they can employ some of these specialists. It's very silly of me to have made that mistake so that they're not working in the first place. And as you can see, we're already starting to discover research deposits in Alpha Centauri, which is why we want to designate this as our kind of research habitat zone. And for our second tree, we want to take enmity. Now, the optimal build path I've seen actually involves statecraft, but since we're playing single player, we need to take diplomacy instead of having somebody else take it. We get rising unemployment. That's super annoying. That's going to cost us a couple extra consumer goods, but as soon as they're employed, that should go away, which is fine. Yeah, and as you can see how far our corvettes are getting into the galaxy, this is really important as, once again, we're just trying to make as many first contacts as possible. Unfortunately, we haven't found too many yet, but also the contacts we have found are decently far away from us, which means we can pretty safely rival them. Sometimes the contacts you make are very close, and it can be a little bit nerve-wracking to rival them as they can come and attack you, potentially. One thing to note is we do want to find someone nearby to rival in order to turn into a trade federation with. Another option we have is if we can find a system that's 5 systems or more away and has a planet like this desert world here, but that's a bit too far away. I'd like something closer, like maybe in one of these systems. Then we can release our own vassal and do it that way. Also, we completely forgot it's time to start our habitat. It's only a little bit late, so that's okay. I'm just going to build it on this research deposit, as that will be useful.
An alien empire now speaks to us in the
Also, we have made first contact with some space entity. Requires compass. Once again, we would rather meet empires, but if we meet these kind of enclaves, just make first contact with them, get the influence. As Void Dwellers does need a lot of influence in order to play properly. And as you can see, make sure you never stop building in your capital. More and more unity producing jobs. Always, always, always. And one thing we're going to want to do is right now we don't have great unity basic resource counts, but once we start to have really good basic resource count, we're going to want to move all our worker jobs to clerks, as they produce unity. So yeah, there's some more mini-maxing that we're going to want to do soon. And wow, our Alpha Centauri is very strange. It only has 3 unique research deposits, which kind of sucks. Yeah, three unique research deposits is a lot less than you'd normally want. But that's okay. That is a-okay. I think that usually means we have an extra research deposit somewhere else, so that's fine, I guess. And as you can see, our minerals are kind of okay-ish now. I'm thinking of moving all our jobs over to clerks. I think I'll do it. Yeah, now our minerals are going to go way down here, but that's okay. Yeah, it's super annoying that we have these 2 unemployed specialists. That was a very silly mistake, but that's okay. There is some margin for error here. But yeah, you can see our unity is already doing pretty good at 143. And as we continue to fly out into the galaxy, I think this is an actual empire, which is great. Also, we're not making first contact with this, I just realized. That's a bit of a mistake as well. Also, every single time this happens, when your edict wears out, go ahead and add some more mortal initiates. And just go ahead and sacrifice those. It kind of feels a little bit bad or weird sacrificing so many pops for Unity, but there's no point in having any pops by the time you ascend, right? Because as soon as you ascend, all those pops are going to be wasted instantly, basically, anyway, right? So it's better to
Construction complete.
do anything as in your power to ascend as fast as possible, even if it means having a very, very low pop count before you ascend. Uh, it feels very strange and kind of like anti-normal, but that's why this build is so broken, because it ignores all logic and common sense, and you just get Unity as much as you can, basically. And wow, we still have not made many first contacts. Fortunately, we're kind of moving out into the galaxy all right. I swear I got a first contact somewhere, but I don't know from where. From where? Oh, it's from here. Okay, we'll just wait for something to finish before we start that. Once again, we do have to finish the entire enmity tree before we actually can make the first contact. Also, we want to continue to build a couple minor orbitals. I currently just do the asteroids, right? As I don't want to destroy anything which is actually producing anything right now. Also, we're not going to take pop growth speed yet. We're going to take ground defense planning. The reason we avoid pop growth speed is we don't want... we don't actually want to unlock too many different tech options, as once we do ascend, we still want to hit certain things like colonial centralization as soon as possible, so we don't want to kind of mess with that order by unlocking too many new tech options. Also, yeah, wow, very sparse galaxy. That's okay. Sometimes this happens. It just means you got to be vigilant with keep moving your scouts out. I've been pretty lucky to only lose one so far. So that's nice, but we have gotten quite far out into the galaxy, as you can see. Also, as you can see, I'm not building on any of the deposits. It's a waste of minerals. We don't need to do that. One thing I do want to look for is after this surveys Barnard's star, I just don't want to interrupt it. I'm gonna get it to survey this way, as binary and trinary stars often have many deposits, and that makes the void dweller capacity higher. And I do need a fourth habitat location. It could also be near this continental world. I might even build a second ship here. I might regret that with my economy later, but it's just a little bit of alloys, so I think it'll be worth it. And as you can see, we're finally starting to hit a good number of first contacts as we're getting really far out into the galaxy. And you can also see how we're starting to get a really good amount of commercial districts going, and therefore a really, really good amount of Unity. Yeah, what are we making now? We are making... Oh, we've hit a Fallen Empire. That's great. Fallen Empires are basically free to rival, as they actually don't attack you from you rivaling them, which is quite funny. So it's free Unity, basically. Also, there's nothing good here, so I guess we'll take mining station output. That's okay. One thing that can be really, really nice is if you do happen to hit machine template systems, you can actually invest in enough tech to finish that before ascension, as that will allow you to continue to assemble your species afterwards. Right now, as you can see, we cannot create a template. We do not have machine template systems. Normally, if you start with other origins which do start with it, you can actually make a machine template right away, and basically when you virtually ascend, you'll still be able to assemble the old template, meaning you'll have some pop assembly to make some real pops, which you can sacrifice for certain things later on, certain synaptic lathes, and that kind of thing. So yeah, anyways, if that doesn't happen, that's okay. We can get pop assembly through other means. Normally through migration treaties, we can make some biopops, and we can just do conquest. You know, we can invade other people for their pops, and because we have enmity, we're going to have such a crazy amount of influence that we're going to be able to use all this free influence basically in order to really quickly claim a lot of systems if we want, which is just a really nice thing to have. Also, as you can see, we're still building minor orbitals as fast as we can, basically. and it still can't quite keep up with everything we want to build, but we do also want to get rid of this district soon, so we'll go ahead and get rid of that for another habitation district. And yeah, as you can see, everything's going well. We're almost at 200 unity already, and this is without merchant guilds, so just really good to see, I guess.
Anomaly found.
We haven't made contact with any real empire yet, which is a bit unfortunate, but we have a lot of first contacts, so I'm not very worried about that. Even if the contacts come a little bit late, and we can't get every single what's it called, rival out when we want, we'll still get them eventually, which is the more important thing. Also, one thing you can do is when you have extra energy credits, you can just burn them to buy more minerals. There's most of the times your extra energy credits are going to be used to buy resources anyway, so might as well buy them right away when you need them. Also, we're going to build this habitat on a major tech deposit, as we're not exploiting it anyway, and it's good to have more tech districts, right? So I completely forgot about this ship. Let's just take a random one. It will cost us a little extra unity to hire a level 2 leader, but I want to get more systems surveyed. And I see, I missed that, and we lost a good leader there. Luckily, we have enough first contacts, so we no longer need to rehire them. We can just kind of use the 2 ships we do have to meet the last few contacts that we need. Also, about now is when I'd want to consider, like,
situation log updated.
Do I want to depend on an AI empire in order to get a trade federation? Because playing this build without a trade federation can be extremely tough. Okay, I have an idea. I'm gonna scan any of these systems for a planet, and I'm gonna look over here for a planet as well. 1, 2, 3. So this is not far enough, but this is a bit too far. So hopefully on the way there we can find one planet, and that can become our trade federation. Although it would be nice to just make a trade federation with an AI empire, but once again, as I mentioned, that can be really difficult sometimes. Also note that we're not rivaling this fallen empire yet, because we're still an isolationist, and we need to be antagonistic to rival anybody, which we cannot do until year 10. And we also can't do that until enmity is finished, which looks like we are about to do. And for this, also, we want to take consecrated worlds. This is basically the only way to get additional unity from a second perk. And what we're going to do is we're just going to consecrate this world as soon as we can, and that will get us a little bit of extra unity generation empire-wide. So we're 194 unity, and we have to wait for the month to pass, but let's see what we get after that. And 203. So like a good extra 10 or so unity per month, and it obviously scales with the amount of unity we have and number of planets we have consecrated, which will increase very soon. Also, our first habitat here is about to finish, so let's start to build our colony ship. I know it's a bit late, should have built it a little bit earlier, but that's okay, we kind of forgot. Nice thing about this build is it really is so strong, you do not have to play perfectly. It is nice to, definitely stronger, but not necessary. And as soon as this is done, I'm going to borrow this to build some more minor orbitals in our capital. Oh, another tip I forgot to mention is set your ships to evasive stance or passive stance. This means if they're attacked, they won't immediately cancel, which is something that can happen. And they'll just sit there and build until they're destroyed, which sometimes they aren't because, you know, your starbase kicks in or something like that. Here we're just going to go charisma. It's not really great options there. And our capital has kind of stopped building because we're kind of just waiting. Which is okay. We're waiting for more orbitals. really need more first contacts at this point. I forgot I have more envoys now, so I could have been trying to do more first contacts at the same time. A little bit of a mistake there. Yeah, as you can see, we're hitting a lot of first contacts here. Okay, so here, the most important thing is that our main leader, which is named Mimi, does not win. So this is great. Usually the Minister of State does win. One thing is that this is our trade leader, so we actually might want somebody else to win. So I'm going to do this, right, as I don't want to find a new trade-focused leader. There might be one available, but yeah, as you can see, there isn't. And because this already has trade focus, when they level up, they're going to roll trade focused again, which will increase our unity even more, so we don't want to mess that up. So yeah, okay, not bad. And as you can see, we are struggling to find a planet in the correct location. Oh no, there's one here. So this is a perfect planet to form a random trade federation with, and there's also an empire over here, so that might interrupt with that plan, but we'll see.
An alien empire now speaks to us.
So we have found a hive mind not too far from us. That's fine. Ah, the matriarch. Run, run, run. Okay, luckily that's running by itself because it's non-evasive. Not bad. Yeah, and as you can see, we're just starting to make our first contacts here. So once we start to make our... Oh yeah, and as you can see, the system's occupied, so that's not going to work. This system has 2 planets, but it's 2. Yeah, so as you can see, it's a bit of a pain in the ass trying to make a what's it called, federation sometimes. So let's go ahead and just explore in this direction. Maybe we can find something. If not, once again, we can just try to build relations with an empire that we do hit. Also, we can skip the agenda once it gets close to the end. And start working on evolving society, as this is kind of the most important agenda we can do. And also, time to work some mortal initiate jobs and sacrifice them in the name of unity. Now, once you're down to only a few pops, I would recommend making sure you're prioritizing the mortal initiate job, because it's really easy to accidentally promote all your workers to specialists. And when that happens, your unity production can fall off a cliff, which is obviously not something we want. Also, as you can see, we're very late to colonize this planet. That's fine. About a year late won't hurt us too much. That's not too big of a deal. That's a-okay. Also, let's just explore these 2 systems in case there's a planet here. I mean, this planet is just so far away. But I might survey it anyway, just in case, as that might literally be our best option for a trade federation if like this empire turns out to be hostile or something. And we're gonna want to take diplomacy here.
Council agenda available.
Start to make first contact with some even more of our random first contacts everywhere. Oh yeah, also, I completely forgot. At around this time, government antagonistic, right? And then boom. Okay, one thing we're gonna do first is we're gonna offer for a communications trade. Okay, they don't have any because they don't have any. So now we declare rivalry. Declare rivalry with the Fallen Empire because it's free. Xenophobic isolationists. So yeah, that's probably not going to be very happy with us, so that's going to be a rivalry. Just don't get bullied and you're fine. Let's go ahead and... Okay, we already have first contact on that progressing, so we're going to want some first contact progressing over here. And once again, our leader is leveled up and we have trade focus, and since they didn't get promoted to our leader of our entire empire, they can still work this trader job and make me very happy. And now we're also going to want to start to build orbitals. I think we'll just finish all the minor orbitals on our home planet first. Something like that. Okay, this habitat is already under construction. This ship is searching for nearby planets. I really hope this empire here is friendly. Please be friendly. I want to make an easier trade fed. I don't want it to be super difficult and or have to release a vassal to do that. My throat is drying out already. I'm not used to talking so much. The crazy thing is I haven't even talked that much. I'm just not very talkative normally. Anyhow, as you can see, it's a very minimalist build. We only have 3 systems. Our empire size is tiny, which is all good. There's like a lot of there's a lot of planets here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this planet is exactly 5 systems for my capital, which makes it exactly far enough to release as a vassal, which is very nice. And now this ship over here can come back to survey some nearby systems to see if they're any good for a 4th habitat. I generally find that 3 habitats is a bit few. 4 is a bit few, and 5 is honestly a bit too, not too much, but don't really need it. Anyhow, at this point in time, we're going to start to move pops that are producing what's it called? We're going to start to move pops off resource jobs like alloys and consumer goods in order to start producing what's called additional unity. Very soon we're going to unemploy all our pops for that, so that's going to be pretty fun. Also, hurry up first contacts. I should have pretty high first contact skill at this point. Yeah, as you can see, these guys are not happy with us. Who did we just make first contact with? Do I see them? I didn't even see them. Our minister, another minister of defense is dead too. Oh yeah, we should start to build some extra trader jobs here. Yeah, what we're going to start to do now is we're going to start to deprioritize metallurgists, as we no longer need this much alloys. We only need to build orbitals now, basically. I should be building more orbitals. Don't build an orbital here yet, as it's a bit annoying to try to what's it called, replace this output. It's actually pretty good. So that's the only thing we shouldn't build an orbital on for as long as we can kind of avoid it. Yeah, also, once again, just getting maximum trader value here. Who the hell did I make first contact with? Oh, they're all the way over here. Okay. Well, they're suspicious already, so declare rivalry. All these silly players who aren't playing, they're not even players, they're AIs, but not playing virtual. Yeah, virtual really is the most broken build we've ever seen. The goal here is going to be to make 2k tech as soon as we ascend. As you can see, we're making 339 unity already as well. And we don't even have 6 rivals yet. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 2 more left to go. We're going to keep one of these envoys available to improve relations with this empire, which is the only empire we want good relations with, and it looks like that's actually happening, which is great. That also means we won't need to do our funny plan of releasing one of our own planets as a vassal, which is great. Also, why is this planet so unhappy? This should be a trade station. We're only producing 1 trade value right now, but that's going to go up a lot as soon as this commercial zone is done. And we're also going to start to move over the metallurgists and stuff. Yeah, as you can see, a little bit of lack of housing and stuff is fine, especially once this is done. Also, do not build a second roboticist. This one is fine, perfectly fine. Also, once again, we forgot to pre-build the colony ship, but that's okay. Getting these colonies up as early as possible is not really important, as our pop assembly is so low, and I think the empire next to us is a Federation builder. That is so unbelievably lucky. I'm so happy about that. Establish embassy, non-aggression pact. Guaranteed independence. Yeah, I'm clicking all the buttons. I want us to build trust as fast as we can. That is so lucky, guys. So this is a pretty lucky run. But I guess we're gonna see what a pretty lucky run can do here. So that's gonna be pretty exciting, to be honest. And once again, we still have 2 rivalries left, so our Unity production is not in its final form. What did we just make contact with there? Okay. Declare rivalry, and take a look at our influence. It is so good. That's kind of one of the very powerful aspects about playing this build, is influence. Is usually a resource that could be a little bit limiting. Not with this build. We have tons and tons of influence, and it is fantastic. And we have made contact with another empire. I think it's this over here. I mean, they're nice. Unfortunately, we need 1 more rival, so 1 more rivalry it is. And this one nearby empire will be the source of all our packs, commercial, research, blah blah blah, just to build trust. Really, the packs will benefit them more than they benefit us. Let's get rid of another artisan or metallurgist whenever we can. I'm gonna start to buy less minerals. We can buy more later as soon as our energy credits get back up to the high positives. But for now, just decrease that a bit so we can continue to deprioritize metallurgists and stuff. But we do need to buy a few more consumer goods, as that's getting quite low. Just take a look at the Unity, guys. 400 Unity at year 14. It's not bad. Of course, it's possible to have more with statecraft instead of diplomacy, actually. But diplomacy will help our basic economies so much that this is just better. Also, we should remember to continue to build orbitals. Let's just continue to build orbitals. There's any orbitals on technology left? That's kind of what I'm looking for right now. I don't think so. Wait, let me see how many. Yeah, we have 9 research districts available on our capital already, which is the amount we should have. Let's go this. As this will let us get easier acceptance, so that's always good, as forming a federation can often have a lot of issues. I guess you can see, I don't know why it can be so hard to form a federation sometimes. I think it's a little bit annoying. Like, they're cooperative, I'm antagonistic, I guess, which makes it a bit harder. But yeah, like this should not be -62. That's actually going to be really hard to bring up to a point where they're happy to say yes, which is a bit annoying, but that's okay. Let's buy something like 25 consumer goods. It's a bit expensive, but that's okay. Also, let's start to build some minor orbitals here. Let's build a minor orbital. Let's build a major orbital on the other research district. We don't want to build the 4th habitat until we ascend. Basically, it's too hard to get enough credits for that, especially with a very late federation. Thanks to this really poor acceptance, as you can see. Just super frustrating, I guess. And here we're going to want to do another sacrifice togetherness. And just keep this mortal initiate job prioritized to keep workers' jobs, because if they promote, we won't be able to use them, which is really annoying. And yeah, as you can see, our Unity is just creeping up higher and higher and higher. Keep in mind, we haven't even launched Evolving Society, but I think now is a good time to do so. It only costs 500 Unity to do so, and 2026 is a realistic goal for full ascension. So let's go ahead and do that and see our Unity jump up a little bit more. 470 Unity, yes. Very nice. We still have 2 metallurgist jobs to get rid of, but with our current alloy production, it might be a little bit difficult to do so with no extra energy credits, so we're going to hold off on that. One thing we do want to start doing now is we need to start building more research districts and such. As soon as districts stop building, basically, we need to start to build districts, as we need to get ready for when we're going to ascend. Also, now we can get a commercial pact. We can get a research agreement. I mean, this actually helps us quite a bit. And a migration treaty, which helps us a lot. Beautiful. We have another planet. We can move a metallurgist over. Actually, we can't. We don't have enough energy credits. Let's stop buying minerals entirely. Yeah, resettling specialists can be quite expensive, but that's okay. Yeah, once again, this is the downside of, like, we would already have a federation in multiplayer, basically, because in multiplayer it's so much easier to get acceptance, but here we're going to have to wait it out a bit. One thing that's really nice is getting this early migration treaty is we should start to get pop growth on some of these planets. It's not happening for some reason, but hopefully that fixes itself soon. Turn these all into trade stations, just make sure we're getting as much value out of that as we can. Let's see, how is this as a system? 1, 2 mineral deposits, 3 energy deposits. Not great. Yeah, once again, we're just looking for systems with a ton and a ton of deposits, the most important thing. Let's see, why is the acceptance here so poor? Form Federation. Don't have enough intel yet. Okay, we'll wait for the trust and stuff to get even better. If it's still looking tough, well, I will regret not having made my own colony into a... Because we need to start buying alloys, that's fine. This is a stage that basically we go through every single game, is needing to buy alloys in order to maintain our pretty pitiful alloy economy, but alas, economy is not the strength, or early game economy is not the strength of this build.
Anomaly found.
And as you can see, we basically want to make sure we have just enough trader jobs on our planets. We'll probably keep working this metallurgist just to balance the economy. But obviously optimally we wouldn't. And we can also start the synthetic age now. So, in order to ascend, I believe we need 45,000 unity. Currently we have plus 500 unity, right? What this means is, what we can do is we can compare how long this is going to take. So this is currently going to take 99 months. So 99 months times 500 unity is about exactly how much we need. So we're not going to speed it up or slow it down. So we can either speed it up or slow it down. Speeding it up costs unity, slowing it down, well, costs less unity. So basically you can kind of do some quick math to determine whether or not you need to prioritize it more or less. For me, it's neither. Also pretty frustrating, we do have a migration treaty, but the pops are not growing, which is a bit annoying. Oh, they're Gaia world preference, so that's that's frustrating, but that's okay. Also, always select top priority. Form Federation, yes. 48 acceptance. Our war philosophy allows wars of aggression. So let's see if we can disable that for now, just to get into a... I think defensive wars is what I'm going to want to select here. And yeah, this is much closer now. This can actually happen. Let's see what else. Distance, -13. That can be solved. That is exactly why we're surveying over here. Let me send over a ship that's not doing anything. Just kind of get ready to build real close to them to get rid of the distance modifier there. Yeah, as soon as we get this kind of federation going, we'll have enough resources to really start building up these habitats instead of kind of the pitiful state they're at right now, which is not really enough. Yeah, 25 for Trade League is brutal. So we can get 10 from distance. We can get 13 back from distance. Federation builders plus 20, diplomatic acceptance plus 5. So what we will do is, I forgot to do this earlier, is just try to farm more favors out of them. Yeah, I think all of our envoys, all 5 of them. I think we have diplomatic grants. Yep. This also 6. Just improve relations, you know. We want some good relations. Come on. Also, of course, remember to not take any traditions once you're done this because, well, we don't need them. One of these. So this is gonna be a alloy world, and of course we're just gonna max out the research districts because research districts are just so broken of a thing. They get 4.5 researcher jobs each after virtual ascension, which is absolutely wild. And one of the reasons that this outscales any other build is just because the density for researchers is not even close. Like no other build can compete with the researcher density. This is another great system with 2 research deposits. If I can find anything better though, that'd be nice. Like if I can find something with 3 research deposits or 3 mineral deposits, then that could be a great 4th habitat.
System survey complete. Anomaly found.
I also think we will have to use our capital as a mineral habitat. It's a bit annoying, but that's fine. Only 5 more acceptance needed for, what's it called? Trade League, so we just need this to finish scouting, basically. Or not scouting, survey. As you can see, our economy is just on an absolute knife's edge now. But that's kind of how it is. So finally, we can go ahead and build this. We have tons of influence, so we don't have to worry about forward settling. Also, one thing we need to do is we need to cease pop assembly very soon. As pop assembly is a bit too expensive, basically. So we're gonna let's already cease pop assembly on our homeworld. This will save us some alloys. Oh, I do need more energy credits, guys, but like right now we just don't have any to spare. Wait, why are we negative? Okay, perfect. Just make sure we did click Trade League, and we can go ahead and have a trade fed. Normally you'd want this about 5 to 10 years earlier, but that is fine. And as you can see with the trade fed, look at how good our basic economy is. We can start to sell a good number of consumer goods, and we can use this to buy as many minerals as we need, basically. Oh, no, not buy, sell. Oh, okay. Hopefully we didn't buy more than 1 month of that many consumer goods. And yeah, there we go. Now we can see our basic economy is much livelier. And we can use that in order to kind of fix our economy a bit. So we're going to deprioritize researchers. And perfect. And we're going to move these order to trading planets in order to once again just get this ascension just that little bit faster. Let's just empty out these consumer goods. We don't need them. Yeah, and as soon as our pop assembly is done, we're also going to stop pop assembly entirely. And here we're also going to stop pop assembly. Perfect. Oh. That's mighty convenient. So that's another way we can get a ton of unity, clearly, is we can just have the best possible governor. And that is gonna boost our unity to a crazy level. Where's our... Guys, I never reformed my government. That is so funny. I was supposed to go merchant guilds. Wait, that is hilarious. So I've done the last 10 years. Anybody who noticed, I apologize, but we did not go merchant guilds that entire time, and our unity was still as crazy as it was. That is nuts. Um, Anyhow, we can now fix our government into what we actually wanted in the first place, right? And see how insane our unity is. Let's see how much we get. We should be over 600 now, I think.
Anomaly found.
Come on, month. Pass. Okay, we're not over 600, 519. So merchant guilds doesn't make a huge difference, I guess. Which is somewhat surprising, actually. You know, I thought that'd make a much bigger difference. I can't even lie. Well, I guess it affects the other economy a bit too. So as you can see, our base economy is just quite a bit better now too. So that does matter. This needs to go back to our capital actually. And why is there an oh yeah, this is a really annoying bug. Is sometimes you get unemployed leader jobs when you switch, but that's fine. Also, we're missing one mortal initiate, so that kind of sucks. So our uni is actually be net down a little bit because of that, but that's fine. Like, yeah, still around 450. So we're still looking at about around the same ascension time, guys. What's this system? How one mineral deposit? Yeah, just poor. Really, really poor deposits here, guys. That's okay. Once again, now we're gonna just like ramp up our scouting a bit, ramp up our building, right? One thing we do want to do is we want to get as many industrial districts out as possible. We're really quite lacking right now, so what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna start to buy as many alloys as we can, because why not? And we're gonna use this in order to just build as much extra orbitals as we can.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
And let's just build a new construction ship, why not? It's still gonna be a few, probably like 5 years before we ascend, so we have some time.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
Another thing we need to think about is where we can get our minerals from, and it looks like, in this case, our minerals have to come from our homeworld, as there's not a lot of good mineral. Okay, 12 minerals, 2 mineral deposits. Only 2 mineral deposits there. That's not really enough. Once again, we're just going to need more than 2 mineral deposits. Once again, always select top priority. None of our resources matter except for Unity at this point, which is a bit lacking to be honest, but that's okay. As you can see, we have no pop assembly anywhere. This is why I kind of wish that migration treaty was working, but unfortunately they're Gaia world preference, so we're gonna need to find a different one, or yeah, that's fine. Oh, somebody has died already. Well, okay. And yeah, oh, why are we still working? Oh, why are we still working artisans? That's a bit of a unfortunate thing right there.
Anomaly found. System survey complete.
And basically, we're just gonna spend this little bit of extra unity or alloys in order to build some extra orbitals, just to start increasing these habitat capacities. Yeah, because we're gonna ascend really, really early, is we're not going to have as many districts ready for our ascension as I'm kind of hoping for, but that's fine. We're still going to have a good amount. We're not going to hit 2K tech right away, but we're going to hit 2K tech probably just a couple years after we ascend. So that's not too late, to be honest. And once again, kind of just waiting to build orbitals. This habitat is, of course, great. It's going to be really nice once we finish most of these research districts. Also, we can just sell more consumer goods. Buy more minerals. I know the price is going to go really crazy, but here's the thing. It doesn't matter. At this point, the much more important thing compared to maximizing our like energy credits or whatever, right? It's just spending all of them in order to maximize our ascension, basically. No real need to save up any energy credits. Just spend them on any extra minerals we can to start building up our stations. This is going to be our foundry station, of course. It's a bit lacking in districts, but that's fine. It'll get better over time with research and orbitals, but for now, it'll be a bit sucky. Scan. Still haven't found a second system that I like that has a good number of deposits to build on. Like, that's fine. I'm sure there's one somewhere. Again, I'm just gonna burn these consumer goods in order to keep these districts building as fast as possible. And of course, keep the orbitals coming as well. Let's see how our situation log is doing. As you can see, we did need about 45k unity, I believe, and this has about 30 months, so they're just about perfectly lined up still, which is really nice to see. Also do need more alloys, so let's keep burning these. Increase our alloys a bit. See if there's any deposits, things with no deposits, so we don't murder the deposit. We want to murder the deposits, of course, as late as possible.
System survey complete.
And this is important. Click virtual world. I almost made that mistake one time. I don't really read too carefully, so yeah, it looks like our home world will have to be our mineral world, which kind of sucks, as we don't have a second mineral habitat. That is perfectly fine. Yeah, let's just keep building up our other districts. We probably do want to get some mineral districts out of Cirrus. We only did get one mineral deposit, I believe, on Cirrus, right? So that's pretty sus. Hopefully we can get a couple more out of our home world. 4 mineral districts should be enough to keep us building up quickly. You can sell some dark matter for additional energy. Living metal I kind of like, so I don't really want to sell it, but we could. Oh, one thing that's annoying here is it will take us a bit longer to ascend than we thought, so we have no more mortal initiates since we stopped pop assembly. So our last bit of unity will be a bit of a pain to generate, as we'll come just a little bit short, but that's okay. Yeah, guys, where am I going to put my last habitat? Maybe we'll just make 5 habitats and have 2 really bad ones. I don't know. But in that case, I'd rather just have fewer good habitats. But who knows? Yeah, this Cirrus habitat really needs more capacity as well. That helps a bit. once again here, we want to speed it up, not slow it down. Let's get another orbital going here. I think it's finally time to murder this little deposit. It was a good run. As you can see, the price of minerals is really going crazy now, but we just want to keep these builds continuously going. Just make sure that they don't stop. This could be an interesting habitat. It's got... maybe not. Once again, there's just not really enough deposits. At the end of the day, if I can't find a great habitat, I'll just colonize something like this and turn it into like an okay research habitat with 2 research districts. Anything that does happen it's just not a big deal, you know. Like,
Anomaly found.
so yeah. Anyhow, you can see that this build is quite chill on micro. Not too many things to micro after the yearly game. I still mess it up, but that's fine. We'll see with the power of this build just how little that matters. At least when fighting AI. When fighting players, it could be a different story, but yeah, our transformation is going to come soon, even with us messing up really big time there and only producing, 500 unity. Once again, we don't have a migration pack this time, or our ability to was hampered by the fact we accidentally made a migration pact with the wrong type of planet preference, which is gonna just be quite unfortunate there. So let's see if we can get a second migration pact by making friends with somebody else. And we're almost done, guys. We're almost done. 2 more months, and we will be having a good time.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
We'll just take bioreactor because it's cheap.
System survey
That thing will
complete.
finish in like a couple months as soon as we're done ascension. Let's go ahead and enable all our jobs in preparation.
System survey complete.
Alright, and now let's go ahead into our society and finish this tree out. And we were a bit short. It's because our empire size has snuck above 100. So we need 7 more months. That's fine. Why is our empire size so high, by the way? We only have 3 stations. Like, alright. That's fine. Just be patient. Just wait it out. Come on, one of these systems gotta have good deposits, man. Like, also, how did our empire size sneak above it? Usually with 3 planets, even with virtual, it doesn't get too far above 100, but that's okay. Maybe we just needed more than 45k unity. Maybe it was just like 50k or something. No, maybe not. We didn't need that much extra. And of course, we don't have the ability to use the edict, so we're only making 400 unity for the last little bit of unity, which is a bit unfortunate, which will take us 3 months. That's okay. Probably should have done higher purpose instead. Gain 50 unity per death prius to like 150 unity. Yeah, it's basically nothing. Spiritualist ethics attraction, I guess. Like, as you can see, all our unity bonuses are falling off now, so our unity has really tanked quite a bit. But luckily, we have just this little bit left, and we'll still finish comfortably towards the beginning of 2026. And boom, there we go. And that's just take Cosmogenesis because it's fun.
Situation log updated.
And now we can see immediately. All right, let's. Okay, well, we should have been building. Whoops. And immediately 600 unity, 1.5k tech, so not quite the 2k, but still quite good. We will get some crime, but crime doesn't matter because, well, with virtuality, right? Your pops are replaced immediately, so you don't lose anything on that department, which is
The
fantastic.
spirits have granted us new wisdom.
Just another reason why virtuality is broken. Now we'll have plenty of alloys to spam out as many orbitals as we want now as well. And as you can see, our economy is immediately so good that We can't even rival some of our rivals anymore. And yeah, as you can see, immediately our economy is flying out the gate. One thing we do want to do is do want to build some commercial zones for amenities. It's just quite efficient to do so. Also, we need to pick where we're gonna make this final habitat soon. Major orbitals. Queue up some of those.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
Yeah, and as you can see, we no longer have any problems with the economy. We can research whatever we want, whenever we want. Almost. Let's just research this right away to increase our planet capacity a little bit. So one deposit. I think I'll just go with this. Copium mineral world with some research. That's not terrible, I guess. I don't see anything better in the vicinity, so Copium mineral world. It is. And we are short a little bit of alloys for that, but those alloys should come in pretty quickly. Pretty quickly indeed. Let's just we do need more, or we need a lot of things, like because our economy was so weak from having such a late trade fed. Right, it'll be a while before we can start that. There's colonial centralization, which is great. Let's get this last research district building going. This habitat is completely out of space already, and so is this one after this next thing. Also, we should just change this over to a research station. This over to a foundry station. I forgot. We've probably been working some consumer good jobs. That's okay. And this over to a factory capital. No, not a factory capital. What am I saying? A empire capital. Also, we can work mortal initiates. Why not? Also, why are we now getting pop growth? It's so weird.
Incoming transmission.
Yeah, one thing we want to do now also is some of these can start to be replaced with research labs, as we no longer need such a crazy amount of researcher jobs.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
And as you can see, we've hit over 2k tech by 2027, less than 1 year after Ascension. That's the crazy power of the Void Dwellers. Not only do they get such great job density, they build really fast too. Like the districts build incredibly fast, which does make a difference.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
Yeah, and we can just like go ahead and catch up on all the research that we didn't get to do earlier, and start to scale up, and so that we can research cosmology and stuff like that. Also, we can ascend all these planets, as having planet ascension does increase the efficiency a little bit. You can see the trade value went up by 10, and of course that little efficiency there applies to basically every job. Also, you can see we now have enough to go start to build this habitat. Where's the ship that's actually sent there? Okay, we already sent a ship over there. Do we run out of major orbitals? We ran out of major orbitals for our capital. Okay, nice. Let's finish off the major orbitals for Alpha Centauri, and just start to research everything we need. Now, because we're in a pretty friendly pocket, I would say here. Oh, we've encountered a pre-FTL. Because we're in such a friendly pocket here, we don't have to militarize right away. We can just kind of build up. We can probably save for the synaptic lathe and stuff like that. Get some good military ships out a little bit later. We don't need them right away, once again, with such good geography. Yeah, here our research station, we do want to improve the stability a bit, as that will just improve our output a lot.
Construction complete.
Do we have absolutely no spots to build orbitals left? Yeah, our capital is a little full. One thing I will check is these do give building slots. Yes, plus 0.25. So if I replace these with 0G districts, it shouldn't delete any buildings, I think.
The spirits have granted
Also, now
us
that our
new
amenities
wisdom.
have kind of caught up on this research world, we can start to fill it up with research districts.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
Just keep in mind when building habitats, just like how good, what's it called? Or not habitats, with virtuality, how good clerics are as they increase resources from virtual pops 1%. That's basically rogue servitor, except for clerics, right? Which is just amazing for with mercantile as it's producing consumer goods, unity, just everything. Like absolute incredibly broken synergies there. Also, let's start this habitat. Once again, it's a bit late, but at the same time, doesn't even matter. Like who is going to be competing who is not also virtual with these numbers of tech and unity and at this point even alloys, it's not easy to have more than 160 alloys at this point in the game. Like it's possible. Something like Teachers of the Shroud with catalytic would be producing like close to 200 right now if played completely optimally. And for alloys, like rogue servitor with like a little bit less tech, a lot less tech. Or it's just incredibly hard to match this level of economy this early into the game. Just truly the most broken build, in my opinion, that has ever existed. Here we're gonna take weather control systems. Basically, I do want to turn one of these planets into an Ecumenopolis. There's a size 24 Savannah world there. You know what? Let's it's all the way out. Actually, should I just do this size 16 continental? Nah, it's virtual. I want to like hard greed this. I want a crazy good planet. So let's go ahead and take this size 24 Savannah world, and this will be an Ecumenopolis world. As right now, this Void Dweller alloy setup is kind of broken, right? Each district provides like 3 or 4 jobs. I can't remember. Like how many districts do we have? Let's check. 6 districts, 20 jobs, right? So three per. With very good efficiency, 8.2 with no mega forges or anything. But once again, you fitting 100 plus foundry jobs on one planet later on, that's just going to be better than what we can manage with Void Dwellers. So we do want an Ecumenopolis. 4 habitats and an Ecumenopolis, I think, is the best setup. You could arguably be 6. Obviously, the math checks out to as many planets as possible is best, but who wants to manage that many planets when you could manage much fewer and have much tinier empire size, therefore making your pops more efficient and just, yeah, it's just easier altogether. Also, I forgot. Have I researched like moats and stuff? No moats, no crystals, okay. We're just going to research economy a little bit here before we kind of hard dive into more ship stuff. We're 3k tech, year 30. That's a screenshot, like... And it's not like we're weak, too. We have 160 alloys. If we were being attacked, we could easily move some of those alloys into ships and try to defend ourselves. Obviously, anybody building aggressively to try to kill a virtual player will be able to do so at this point in the game. But if it's just a vassalization, your economy is so good that oftentimes you can just be vassalized and outskill anyway, though it's much more difficult. But, I mean, the fact that it's possible is just hilarious. Like, also, should we get rid of Death Cult here for, I think, Ascensionist? I think this is better. This way you don't have to keep sacking pops and don't have to micro that, which is nice. Probably should have selected the higher level leader for the director of trade, but I've had such poor experiences with this thing crashing my game, stupid council, that I'm not going to click anything there to make that happen.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
And yeah, 3k tech. Our research speed is not great because our plus research speed is like, what, plus 56. With higher level leaders, that could be way, way higher. Of course, what am I to complain? This is still plenty good. And as you can see,
The
Dyson
spirits have
Swarm, why
granted
not?
us new wisdom.
Just flying through the tech, flying through Unity.
System survey complete.
I'm gonna take Statecraft here. Ooh, am I gonna take Statecraft or
The
Prosperity?
spirits have granted us new wisdom.
I mean, the stacking bonuses of Prosperity is just amazing. But one thing, we need Supremacy before the end of the game for sure, and we also want Statecraft.
Council agenda
So I'm gonna take Statecraft. I'm probably gonna ignore Prosperity here. Those bonuses are replaceable, so.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom. Anomaly found.
Yeah, 3K tech. I think we've probably already just about caught up to the technology level of players who are not virtual. We'd still be a little bit behind, like good tech rushes. But in just a few years, we'll be ahead. Because I mean, like, who can keep up? Who can keep up with this amount of tech?
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
And look at that. We just got a whole bunch of building slots, which is really nice.
The spirits have granted
Gonna start to
us new
replace these
wisdom.
temples with technology labs. I don't think we hit mineral subsidy yet.
The
No, we
spirits have
haven't,
granted us
surprisingly.
new wisdom.
We've got tier 4 mineral efficiency upgrades and no what's it called, mineral subsidy, which is quite funny as that unlocks at tier 2. But we'll just wait for that. So let's pre-build this colony ship just so we have that available.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
Did I somehow have a template available of my old pops? Like my
System
pre-virtual
survey
pops?
complete.
I didn't see that. Let me take a look at that, actually. Art generator, adaptive frames, virtual. And this is not virtual, so if I can build that, I can assemble my
The
old pops.
spirits
Oh,
have
that's really
granted
nice.
us new wisdom. Anomaly
Let's do
found.
that. Yeah, because I'm going to start to assemble my old pops. I'm going to have great pop assembly late game from like technology and stuff, so that'll be nice.
The spirits have
One thing I did
granted
forget
us
to do
new
is I forgot to
wisdom.
replace this pop assembly plant with a better building. That's a bit of a mistake. Oh, there's commercial megaplexes. Very nice. So we did get chemical plants, so we're going to want to put one of those down.
System survey complete.
And I'm guessing we have crystals here too. That's great. And also, let's go ahead and send a construction ship all the way out to our lone planet out here, which will eventually become our alloy world. Look at the efficiency on these researchers, by the way. 11.5. Just so ridiculous. So ridiculous. We are starting to run low on energy credits, which is quite funny, so let's stop buying alloys. That should help quite a bit, to be honest.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
We don't have a trade dedicated habitat, which is kind of like a byproduct of being virtually ascended and having so many jobs right now, but yeah. Like, anyways, at this point, you guys should be able to see why, from this perspective, or from this point, right, it's almost impossible to lose, right? Nobody's attacking us. We have good alloy production, insane tech and Unity production. And the Unity it's possible to have like 500-600 Unity at this point with like clone armies,
The spirits have granted
and
us
optimal
new
civics
wisdom.
with psionic ascension and stuff like that. But I mean,
System
the
survey
difficulty of
complete.
accomplishing that compared to this is just not really the same.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
Like, we are just cruising now. Like, absolutely love it. And we can get another habitat here with at least 2 research districts, which is nice. Too bad we don't have like Trinivec or something. And just get like 1,000,000 research districts. That would be fun.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
Surprisingly, we don't have the Galcom yet. It's because I'm rivals with everybody here. They're not going to share comms with me, which is pretty funny, but... Yeah, anyways, like...
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
Do I cover this planet with research as well? Like... Or do I use this as like a pseudo trade station? As it also increases the efficiency of my alloys, right? So I'll probably do that.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
Oh, instead of one of these commercial zones, I do want to build a research institute, as this increases researcher efficiency empire-wide. One thing I'm gonna build soon too is probably a fleet, just to go vassalize some people. No real need to do so, but why not?
System survey complete. The spirits have granted us new wisdom. Construction complete. The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
Yeah, and as you can see, at this point, like we're starting to produce resource numbers that are just unmatchable in any other build. We're just shy of 4K tech now. We're probably gonna hit it, like on the next building upgrade or something like that. Yeah, 4K tech. There we go. Like, oh, no other build can even get close to virtuality. It's so by far and away the best. It feels rather disgusting in the sense that nothing can possibly hope to keep up, which is a bit frustrating. But at the same time, this will be banned in most multiplayer lobbies already. But in case you haven't got the chance to play it yet, here's how you do it. Like 3K tech year 30. Like, yeah, like how can you match that? You just can't. Anyhow, with that in mind, let's go ahead and colonize these two planets here. So these will be our final two planets, basically. And I do want to play like probably to like 2050 just to kind of see at what point we're at. If we've hit techs like mega engineering by that point, it'll be close. It's difficult to hit mega engineering before year 50, even with this crazy amount of tech.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
What do I like? I also okay. Let's see. I want to claim systems when I go to vassalize. I think I do. I want to claim them. I want to steal the pops and put them into the lathe. So I do need to build the lathe first.
Anomaly found.
Let's just build military tech here. Where's the synaptic lathe? Have I researched it yet? I have. Okay, I need a little bit more alloys for that. So let's just build that as soon as we can. Also, we need some moats. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna buy 100 moats and prioritize this to the maximum, as we do want that foundry efficiency.
Construction
Just gonna kind of
complete.
recklessly ascend planets for efficiency as well. The unity at this point is just not as important to keep up with, as we're already really far ahead in unity and we're trying to catch up in tech, basically, right? And our tech has definitely caught up with a player now who is not virtual rushing. Truly nuts numbers coming out here. Let's just make sure we have all major orbitals done, and we don't, which is why we check. Mineral subsidies, wow, okay. It's really comedic how late we hit that. I might have skipped it once by accident, but... Also, one thing we're going to do is we're going to put in a hefty buy for gases, as we don't want to waste job slots on gases, but we do want to produce as much as possible. I think it will be worth it to get a mineral purification plant here. You know, to be honest, also, we can skip on one of these commercial zones and just replace this with another gas plant, because it does burn a lot of energy to produce gas by buying it, at least. and just make sure the research is keep coming. It's going to keep coming out. Let's kind of see what we're at now. Plus 1.3k. So we're still just about 4k tech. It's slowing down a bit, but
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
yeah, it might be slowing down a bit, but it's still faster than any other build that exists, right? So, and can we start the subnecting lathe? I think we can. Nope, we're missing 900 alloys. I don't know where to put it. Also, can we build orbitals? Oh, not complexes. Orbitals in the middle? Oh, we can. Of colonization. That we should have been doing that.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
Okay, well, we should have been doing that earlier, but, well, you live and you learn. And this will chunk our efficiency a bit for our pops. Like, we're making, what, 12 research per pop? Something like that. Yeah, now we're making 11.5, so a little bit less thanks to, you know, adding different things. Let's just take a look at this for a second. We go to our researcher. I think it's here. Yeah, look at these bonuses. How ridiculous is that? Virtuality research plus 100%. Like, why do we need plus 100% research for virtuality? Alright, we already get infinite pops from ascending. Why do we need plus 100% pop efficiency? Why do the pops have to be more, there's more of them, and more efficient? It's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling. Like, just one of the two things would be enough to make them really, really strong. But they gave them both, which is so strange, if you ask me. Also, let's turn on mining subsidies.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
Also, let's start up our lathe as we can.
Survey complete.
Where should we put it? Maybe... We don't have a system to put it in, of course not. That's a really funny thing to get stuck on. Also, as you can see, we definitely need to start upgrading some stuff that cost alloys. So let's go ahead and quickly spend some alloys. So we're not capped on that. That's great. Should have been doing this stuff earlier, but this is a chill single player game, so don't need to worry too much about min-maxing. Also, we're kind of running low on energy credits, right? And that's the result of buying as many resources as we are, so I think we can tone down this a bit. Drop this off to 4. Yeah, and as you can see, you know, virtuality, baby. We're getting somewhat close to 4.5k tech now. Yeah. Try doing that without virtuality. Year 36. Wow, what a build, what a build. It's just... It's frustrating because I know that, you know, I like playing other builds, and none of them will ever be close to this power level. I really hope they either just nerf this to a point where it's actually playable in a way that doesn't feel like cheating anymore. Like, I don't know what you would do to do that, but yeah, the way it currently stands, playing virtuality really does feel a little bit like cheating. Yeah, the technology and economy you can get is just so much better than anything else. Like, what could possibly keep up? Clone armies can't. Clone armies played by the best player ever can't, or like not the best player, but the best economy player. I mean, that's not me. That's a player called Least Fire who wins a good chunk of all the Montu tournaments. Anyhow, one thing, yeah, we're really short on CG, so let's just stop selling them all altogether. Stop buying minerals. So yeah, basically why our economy is so bad is because we're focusing research so hard. If we wanted a better basic economy, we'd basically build more commercial megaplexes, and that would make our basic economy extremely good, and consumer goods, but I'm just testing the limits of rushing here. Also, we get another consecrated world here, boosting our unity a little bit. And we're building our synaptic lathe over there as well.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
Did I just see 25%? Oh yeah, this is a new colony. Okay, I see. Let's go ahead and distribute luxury goods. Once the Habitat Central District build, that will kind of fix a lot of the unhappiness going on over here. Oh, we're down to 200 energy credits. Okay. Well, maybe we do need to spend a little bit more money on building basic economy, but once again, that should be fine. Let's sell a little bit of this, buy a little bit more minerals, and start fixing our basic economy a little bit, because this is a bit bad for virtual. Like plus 144 energy credits. It's of course not bad, but could be more so.
System survey complete.
Yeah, once our synaptic lathe is done, by the way, we could probably speed this up with our good old living metal construction, right? I don't know if that's going faster or not, but I feel like the synaptic lathe counts as a mega structure. Also, this might be a good location for an arc furnace. In general, I find that Dyson swarms are not worth it, but arc furnaces are. As energy credits are a little bit easier to generate than minerals and alloys, so we could invest some alloys into an arc furnace, as that's kind of fun. Explore the new content a little bit, even though of course it's the power of an arc furnace is just nothing compared to virtual.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
4K tech.
The spirits have granted
And it's
us
going
new
up
wisdom.
rapidly. Great game, guys. Great game. This will basically train up our leaders to a much higher level as soon as we get get a little bit deeper into statecraft. We should hit 5K tech pretty soon here too.
The heathens march against
Oh.
us.
We have been war decked by this robot down here, so I did not see that. I made contact with them when I wasn't paying attention, but we should be able to defend ourselves pretty easily, to be honest. Our armor technology sucks, but that's okay. Just make sure we do have excuse me, we do have artillery computers here. Fleet management, and make sure we have the fleet supremacy edict on. Just get a little bit extra training speed now. Let's see, he's got 460 armies. So out of caution, I'm going to train a bit of ground army here. Oh, he's dagging my poor friend. Annoying, annoying. We don't need anti-gravity engineering. Actually, just roll it now before it becomes a pain.
Complete.
Before it becomes an absolute pain, let's do that. How close are we to 5K tech? That's what I'm more excited about, to be honest. We're getting real close. We're getting real close. As soon as these research districts start building and this Habitat Central complex is done.
Detected. The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
This is a gestalt consciousness, by the way. No, it's a individualist.
Anomaly found.
It's the only system I have vision of, so let's claim it for now.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
They're not coming directly for us yet, which is a bit strange, but okay, there we go. Oh, there's our first cruiser fleet. So is that enough to defeat theirs? We'll just wait for one more round of cruisers. They're not really close to our core systems yet, so.
The apostates are after our spaceport. Spaceport martyred.
So we can go ahead and keep increasing. Can I get 5K at 2040? I think I can, just about.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
And how's your synaptic lathe? 45%. Okay. 47. How much longer is it going to take the second round of cruisers to come out, or did I not have enough alloys for it? Shipyard. Oh, okay, soon. Soon indeed. How many cruisers are stuck in this, like, system with one?
New wisdom, anomaly found.
I guess just one. Okay, that's not bad. Yeah, I mean, these are Grand Admiral AIs, guys. Like, the Grand Admiral AIs are so weak now. Not because of power creep, because the tech changes actually really hurt the AIs a lot. Probably a little more than players, to be honest. Yeah, this will be a good old Forge world. We are a bit short on minerals to run this much Forge worlds, but I guess we can get an extra astral mining bay here. Also, we can just build these mineral districts just to have a little bit more minerals. Not too efficient to do it like that, but hey, sometimes you need what you need. And now we got 6k. We can just go and fly in and take whatever we want, basically. 345 alloys, not great for this date, but definitely hard to match with most other builds. Most other builds have higher stockpile, less alloys, of course. Or higher stockpile, less production. That's what I meant to say. Don't want to research the really expensive techs yet. I do want to roll Mega Engineering first. I don't know when it'll happen. It can be pretty fickle. Sometimes you roll it like 2050, sometimes 2070, even with a very similar amount of tech weight. It kind of depends on if you can get the right leaders as well. And yeah, luckily my ally is drawing a lot of the aggressiveness of the enemy, which is nice. And there we go, 5k tech at your 40, guys. Wow, what a stupid build. Anyways, that being done, I'm gonna call this video here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. This truly is just the most broken build, maybe in Stellaris ever. I haven't played the entire life of Stellaris, but here we are. And here is just, yeah, stupid. 1k unity, 5k tech, 300 alloys. It's year 40. Well, anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.